It's the co-meet, and what a phenomenal opportunity for KGD, aka Grant Dawson, as he takes on the gladiator Rick Glenn, who I guess he's Ricky Glenn now, but nonetheless, this is a great fight because the last time we saw Rick, aka Ricky Glenn, he looked better than ever, right? He absolutely flatlined Joaquim Silva. It was over early, one of the earliest punches in the round, and it was just very fascinating because we hadn't seen Rick Glenn pull off a stoppage like that in some time, and before that, we lost him. We saw him lose to the Angel of Death, Kevin Aguilar, and that was a unanimous one. Glenn did miss weight in that one, and we know that that return to lightweight in that most recent contest against Silva clearly paid dividends for Rick Glenn. But it's a tough one here going against Grant Dawson, who at minus 400 coming into this one, he's on a fat win streak. He seems to always miss weight, or he was always missing weight at 145, and so he made the smart move up to lightweight. And when we saw him, he just absolutely stopped Leonardo Santos. It was a good fight. Both men had their moments, but to stop a guy like Santos, even though he's an older gentleman, he's a guy with a litany of UFC experience and is a guy with a lot of wins. So I was pretty impressed with that. And if we look at his other wins before that, he has wins over a lot of your boys, Julian Erosa, Meat Boy Minner Dinner, Derek Minner, who's fighting soon. So pretty impressive stuff there. Michael Trizano as well, who was a Meatlock spoiler at one point. So what are your thoughts on this one? Do you think that this is just a setup fight for Grant Dawson? Get him some fresh eyes, and the UFC is saying, "Yo, here's Rick Glenn, who's a savvy vet, but someone you likely should get this done against." So, what are your thoughts? How do you see this one going? You got Glenn or Dawson?
Yeah, this is such a great fight. I gotta go. It's a tough one, but I gotta go with Dawson. Like you said, he's on an amazing fight win streak. There's a reason why he's the heavy favorite. I think he's going to dominate this guy, even though he is a gladiator. But I just don't see him having a chance in this one. I think Dawson has more experience. He's got the better wins, in my opinion. And I think he's just all around a better MMA martial artist. So with that being said, I think he's going to get it done. And I'm actually going to go with submission second round.
Yeah, and Dawson does have some filthy submissions, and it makes sense that of the 95% on Tapology that's rolling with Grant Dawson, a decent sliver of it is copper. They think that the submission will be the best pathway. I'm a little surprised that only 5% of the love is coming in for Rick Glenn because this is a guy who, is tough as nails. He's going to bring the fight, and I feel like sometimes we look at Rick Glenn as someone who's a little bit older than he is, but even though Grant Dawson will have the age, he's 27 years old, Rick Glenn is only 32 himself, and having never looked better than what we saw most recently. Maybe he does have what it takes to get this one done, but I am with you in that I'm going to be rolling with KGD from Lee Summit, Missouri. I just think that he finds a way to mix it up. Maybe he does get this thing to the mat where he should have a serious strength advantage. And I don't know. I know that Glenn has some competent BJJ as well, but I tend to think that Grant is going to implement some top pressure and find a way to just keep himself sticky and keep this thing stuck to the mat. So I'm going to roll with Dawson as well. The odds kind of scare me though, so might avoid personally, but nonetheless going with Dawson right there with you. But hell of a meat event. So any last thoughts on this one?
No, boys, slap that meat and make sure to subscribe. Throw in the comments who you guys got. You got the Meat Boy Dawson or the Gladiator. And make sure to check out other videos and throw a like on the video.